All right. Let's see who we got today. Dante Spears. Crashed the Porsche. Welcome to the Midday with Dante. We have an interesting guest with an interesting story. Y'all gonna love it. Check it out. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Midday with Dante. I am your host, Dante Spears, and on this show, we interview interesting people with interesting stories. Our first guest today is a very interesting, well, I can't call him a young man because motherfucker about 30, but he is a very interesting, talented man. The internet knows him as Dom Teasy, but everybody else knows him as Dante. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dante Spears. Thank you so much, man. Of course. It's nice to be here. Beautiful Oakland, California. I did bring you a special gift. I appreciate you. Man, what is up with you and wine? Everybody that tells me about you, they always say if you ever go to dinner with this man, he will order a glass of wine. I don't know another black man that drink wine like that. What's the story? So, wine, it's a long story. It's been a 10, 12-year journey. And by the way, this one is called Thousand Lives. This is going to be from Argentina. Argentina is known for their Malbecs and some of those kind of mid-level reds. Wine, man, it's a few things about wine. It brings people together. Women love it when you take them on dates, right? Oh my God, you drink wine. We'll do what? Oh my God, you can teach me more about wine. And from there in like 2013, I was working at a restaurant called Maggiano's in San Jose, right? Many of you guys are familiar. So working there, when you work banquets and you clean up, if the party doesn't take all their wine, whatever's left over basically just gets thrown out. So I remember sneaking into the room sometime like, yo, like, what are you guys gonna do with all this wine? And they're like, we're gonna drink it, right? Just don't let management know. And my homie was like, go get a cup. And he poured me something. I just remember it was red. And I was like, this shit is nasty. But it gets you a little tipsy, right? So from there, I just kind of kept trying it, and eventually I just really became like a red wine connoisseur. Uh, you like wine, you like cars, you like high-end watches, you like all these luxury things, knowing damn well you can't afford any of it. So why? So there's a correlation between the three, and I've learned that as I've gotten older and as I've worked at the Four Seasons Beverly Wilshire, as I've worked in more high-end restaurants in Houston. And when it comes to wine, watches, and cars, right? So remember, every April is the Carmel food and wine festival, I believe. People pull up with top Rolexes on, and they get out of top cars, right? And you drink wine, and one nice thing is that wine brings people together. I can now have a conversation with a multimillionaire over over this simple glass. Well, it's not simple because it ain't cheap, but over this simple glass of wine. And I'm a huge car guy. I love Porsches, and again, it just brings everybody together. Okay. So, you love cars. Specifically, I know you really like Porsches. In 2016, word on the street is, not only did you crash, you totaled a Porsche. I need to hear the story. The Porsche story, man. So it's 2016. I'm living in LA at the time, and basically I needed a job. I go to this car dealership. Auto Gallery of Woodland Hills is what it was at the time, and I walk in. I walk in a Lamborghini actually, right across the street, and I'm like, hey, what do I got to do to work here? And he was like, go talk to Rodney across the street. So I go across the street to Porsche and Audi, and I was like, hey, is Rodney here? Rodney comes out, and he's like, what, how can I help you? Rodney's kind of a heavier set older brother at the time. And he's like, I told him, I was like, I need a job. And he's like, all right, well, you have an experience? I was like, yeah, I used to work at Enterprise. Okay, cool. So I come in, few weeks go by, about 2 months go by, and I'm getting the hang of everything. Mind you, before here, I've never driven or knew, much about the actual mechanics of Porsche. So it's a Saturday morning. It's about 10:30, 11 a.m., right? And it's a calm, sunny, beautiful day, midsummer. I get in a 2017 991.2, right when the engines all switched to turbos. 991.2 Carrera 4S, right? 911 Carrera 4S. And I turned traction control off just because I thought it would be cool. And little did I know, I'm coming into a turn off a straightaway, right? I downshift, turn the wheel, and then I punch it. So my RPM's already hella high. I punch it, and I completely lose control of the car. Swerve, swerve, swerve. And I just remember screaming. I was like, oh, shit. I slammed the brake. Yeah. Bam. Right into a parked Range Rover. Porsche's total. And the car's so low, the Range is sitting up high. I like smack, and I take out his headlight, and I hit something because all his liquid was all over the floor. And this black dude is coming out of the Trader Joe's. So for those of y'all in LA on Ventura Boulevard, y'all know exactly what Trader Joe's I'm talking about, Woodland Hills. He comes out, and he's like, oh my God. He's like, what are you doing? You're so stupid. There's some random black dude, and I got his business card at the time, and I told him whenever I get rich, I'll buy him another car, but that ain't happened yet. So, that was that. I had bruises on my forehead and my forearm from the airbag, and I got fired, and I walked away clean. And after all of that, you didn't tell yourself, maybe this Porsche life ain't for me. You just want to continue to be involved in all this rich life. Also, here you were involved in a Lamborghini accident as well. The hell is wrong with you? Yeah, the Lambo thing is a few years later. I wasn't driving, but I was a passenger in the car at the time. But yeah, that's again another life of my thousand, right? So this whole rich life thing, after working and living in LA for 7 years, you know, being on set with celebrities, meeting, celebrities, working at the Four Seasons Beverly Wilshire, I just have been around wealth a really long time, and I know that's the lifestyle that I want. So I know that for a fact. When you've been inside $80 million mansions, and when you've driven Maybachs and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, you get in your Honda and go back to your apartment and be like, this shit sucks. You feel me? So yeah, like I really admire that lifestyle, and honestly, the lifestyle I want is just to be able to wake up, hit the canyons in my Porsche with a beautiful woman by my side, get to the beach and enjoy a glass of champagne, and just live a really really nice life. Women, speaking of them, I know you love to charm the ladies, but man, when are you actually gonna settle down, either get married, have you some babies? Like, what's the plan? So, um, love for Dante. Man, that is a really good point. I don't know, and you know why I don't know? Why? Well, really, Teasy don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Teasy wants to travel the world and party, and the best way to put this, he wants to have experiences, right? And experiences are, jumping on the Ritz Carlton yacht and sailing to the Mediterranean for 14 days. Experiences is getting on that Four Seasons airplane. And many of y'all probably don't even know that these things exist, right? Experiences are, driving the famous racetrack in Germany, the Nuremberg Ring, and a 911 GT3. Like those are the things that TZ wants to do. Now, Dante is a very good man. He can cook. He's very clean. He's very hardworking. And eventually he does want to get married, but it's more so like when the time is right. You know what I'm saying? When the time is right and when I personally feel that I can give a woman the world. I don't want kids. I know that for a fact. It's not that I don't want to get married. It's just I don't want to go through divorce. I don't want to go through a broken family. I don't want to go through, trauma that, I mean, every race goes through it. And I just want to go through those things. I want to find the woman of my dreams, and I want to be with her for the rest of my life. Whether that comes at today, I can walk into Whole Foods and Oakland, find a beautiful hippie-ish girl. I don't know. Or whether that comes in another 4 years when I'm in my mid to late 30s. Like, there's really no time frame on it. And one thing that I always like to say is when it comes to the marriage, I'm going to hold on that because like Larry June said, right? This time around, I'm doing this for me. And that's all it is right now. Right now, I'm just living the life that I want to live. And whether that be single or whether that be married, I want to live the life that I want to live. Larry June, I'm actually very surprised that you brought that up. So you listen to rap because I know that you are known for being a huge. If anybody doesn't know, this man is a huge R&B fanatic. So everybody knows me as being an R&B fan, right? Specifically, a huge Usher fan. And when I was in grade school, I had my Sony Walkman. I remember having like 2 or 3 CDs. I think it was some Jagged Edge CD, DMX, and Usher's 8701. And that 8701 CD just completely changed and shaped my character, really. So after listening to, Usher all the time, I was like, damn, this dude is hella smooth. And I was like, he could sing, he could dance, he has the sex appeal for the women. You know what I'm saying? Like all his interviews, he's always just smiling. And I'm like, that's what I want, right? That's what I want. Knowing damn well I couldn't sing, knowing damn well I couldn't dance. I was light skinned, but besides that, yeah, like, and that has really, been with me this whole time. Usher, Neo, Luther Vandross, Maxwell, man, Chris Brown, another one, right? And like Chris Brown and Usher to me are disciples of Michael Jackson. So just going through all those things, like that's what really encouraged me to, just love, to love R&B and hip hop. I'm not a fan of trap music. I never have been. I love Larry June. I love Rick Ross. I love Meek Mill because they talk about well, it's rich rap, but like everything they talk about is just hella smooth, and it goes back to those experiences. Speaking of artists and celebrities, I've been doing some research, and I've seen you on social media. You always doing voice impressions and skits and all of that. So, like, would you call yourself a voice impressionist, or tell me a little bit about that? Yeah. So again, just having all these influences when I was younger, fourth grade, fifth grade, and when I got into middle school, I remember, watching Mad TV and seeing a Reese Spears. I was like, yo, these dudes are mad talented. And man, when I saw like Chris Tucker's portfolio, Def Comedy Jam, Friday, Money Talks, Rush Hour was by far the biggest influence. Because I was like, I want to be a hybrid of Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, right? I want to learn the karate moves, and I want to be hella funny. You know what I'm saying? And Chris is like, it's funny because Chris will just come in a room and he has like so much energy and kind of got like that high pitched voice. Like Chris would come in the room and be like, "What the hell going on in here, man?" You know what I'm saying? Lee, get. You lied to me, man. You lied to me, man. You told me it was gonna be hoes and everything in that party, man. And look at us sitting in your car eating some shoe moo, whatever the hell this is called. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Tucker be all over the place, but yeah, that's definitely where everything started after watching those movies. Okay, so voice impressions. Let me ask you this: who is your favorite comedian or actor to impersonate? And how many voice impressions can you actually do? Man, so my favorite comedian and actor is by far Richard Pryor. And Richard Pryor has like, he just has an aura and he influenced comedy so much, right? And when like Rich tells a story, you just get so hooked. Cause you know, Rich gonna tell you like it is, right? And Rich will tell you that, you know, the time he was in Africa, and Rich will start talking about white people. Rich will talk about like nobody ever put a limit on him because they just couldn't. And it was also all love. So it was definitely Richard Pryor. And I remember my favorite Richard Pryor piece, one of them, is when he does Mudbone, right? Because imagine if Mudbone was your grandfather, right? Like you walk in the house, Mudbone be sitting there. Hey, boy, before you come in here, go and take them hush puppies off your feet, now. And before you get in that bed, you better wash your ass, now. And I'm gonna tell you something too. If you hear anything at night, don't get up, because that's just gonna be me fucking on your grandma. So Rich was, you know, Rich would just tell you like it is. And then, you know, from there, I probably have, I tried to put together a list of 50 voice impressions. And not to say that I have them all, but like, you know, it's the mannerisms for me. For instance, like with Eddie Murphy, right? Eddie Murphy, like something I can just imagine Eddie Murphy saying this. You want to know what's really funny? I want to see Kevin Hart play Sherman Klump, fat ass, and Eddie Professor Fold. Oh, Hercules. You know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of like I'm in ballpark, and I try to have some mannerisms of, again, I put together a list of 50 people. Cartoon, animated, you name it. Okay, so let me ask you this, man. You know, you're 31 now. I know, you know, as you said, you are the kind of the jack of all trades, but master to none. So from here, like, what is your plan, or like what is going to be your key, or you know, your path to success? Man, that's a good question. What's next for me is honestly just kind of go with the flow, right? And this is in multiple aspects of my life. Every day I have new ideas. Every day I want to do new things, right? I wake up some days, oh man, let me go buy some running shoes and get back on the track. I wake up another day, I'm gonna drive 4 hours to this winery that's oceanside. I'm gonna get a hotel out there. No, I have $400 in my bank account, but I'm just gonna make it work. Then I wake up some days, oh man, I have this great show idea. I will literally write nonstop for an hour and a half, and then I'll just be like, this script doesn't make sense, and I won't come back to it. So, you know, it's tough because I feel like I'm the jack of all trades, but I have yet to master anything, right? So really, again, it's like whatever is aligned for me and whatever's going to put me in the best position for, you know, an overall good lifestyle. Because I know a lot about finances. I know I have to invest. I know I have to make money. I know, you know, I need to really get it together in order to do everything else. So it's like the job comes first. The Porsche will follow after that. The creative ideas can then be easier because I'll have weekends off. I'll have more money to do things. And then again, everything will just slowly fall into place. So that's my idea for now. But in today's world, you never know what could happen. I love that. I love that, man. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. I wish you the best in your career. Everybody, please give it up for Don Teasy, a.k.a. Dante Spears, a.k.a. Mr. D2 Smooth, whatever y'all want to call him. We're about to go drink some wine, and that's it for today's episode, all right?